This is the first of what I hope to be a multi-part discussion, kind of a continuous conversation on sponsorships. I feel like anybody who's watched me present in person knows that I am super passionate about this because it is quite literally how I've built this entire company. And what I've noticed is that a lot of girls are under the impression that the brands hold all of the cards, that we are like the puppet master and we are the end all be all. And that's just not at all how it works. So I do an enormous amount of private consultation when it comes to sponsors, whether it's title holders, rodeo queen committees, companies like mine that started that they're like, hey, we know we need these girls and we want to offer sponsorships, but we struggle with making sure that the girls are held accountable, that they do what we need them to do in exchange for quite literally handing money and product out of our pocket to get the eyeballs, and so that these girls also have what they need during their queen journey. So I wanted to start a discussion about that. Not everybody can make it to the clinics. There's only so many hours in the day for consultations and earring building and travel and food. So I thought this is an excellent opportunity. If today goes well, like I said, it's my first time doing something quite like this. So please, 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 if you have a question, I'm pretty sure I'm able to see it here, so please ask it. And if it's something that you girls think brings value or you want more of, let me know and we can work on making this maybe a monthly thing. And because it really is a partnership, it's just a huge, huge team effort so that you girls have what you need and so that brands like us get what we need so that we can continue to afford the ability to sponsor you girls. One of the big things that we get a lot is girls want product. I get it. Everybody, that's the guts of it, right? We do, and I know a lot of other brands do as well, a lot of gift cards. And they are super helpful in a lot of ways, but speaking specifically with Rhinestone Lip Gloss, it allows you girls to get something that you're actually going to wear. As you know, we don't have sales, we don't wholesale, so there's not really hardly any meat on the bone to give product away, give big gift cards. So we don't, because we can't. And I'm not gonna raise the price of earrings to give you a pretend deal. That's rude and unnecessary. So we're not gonna do that. Just last year, we gifted $21,000 in gift cards, and I about choked when I saw that number, because to spend $21,000 on throwing spaghetti at the wall and hoping it sticks with girls promoting our brand, wearing our things, tagging us, it's just not feasible. And if you would have said to me even 5 years ago that we would be able to donate that much money in gift cards, I would have thought you were crazy, because that's just insane. The fact of the matter is we're able to do that because we have put things in place, we have set boundaries, we have set clear expectations of, hey, this is what we need. And one of the biggest misconceptions is the difference between a sponsorship and a donation. They are absolutely not the same thing. A donation is a one and done. It's I will give you this gift card, I will give you this saddle pad, I will give you this thing, and you say thank you, maybe once, maybe twice on the internet, and we go on our merry way, right? It's just kind of a one and done, quick thing. There's no mutual progression to anything more. A sponsorship is very, very much the opposite. So a sponsorship is quite literally a relationship. It is something that both parties work together on to make sure I'm getting what I need as the brand owner and you're getting what you need as the title holder or the committee. So it's a lot more in depth, there's a lot more responsibility with it, but you also, both parties, get a significant more value for the exchange. And when you approach a brand, we get asked a lot, well, how do I get sponsors? How do I ask for free stuff, right? Because that's awkward, right? Nobody wants to do that. If you ask with what you want, if you lead with you, it's probably not going to go well, right? That brand already knows what their product is going to do for you. I already know that you're gonna have perfectly matched, lightweight, lifetime guaranteed earrings. I'm aware of that. I know that, I built it. So when you come to a brand with, hey, this is what I want from you, it feels yuck. But if you lead with, this is what I can do for you, now we have a whole different conversation, and a much more productive conversation, and a conversation that feels better, because you have to remember, a lot of the brands that you girls deal with, we're not Wrangler, right? We're not Justin, we're not Chevy, Dodge, whatever. We don't have corporate budgets. I don't have a massive amount of gifts or money or product set aside to fling out into the universe and hope that we get some type of reciprocation. It just doesn't, we just don't have it. And I think a majority of the brands that you girls deal with are very much in the same boat that we are. So when you come to us, first of all, are you looking for a donation or are you looking for a sponsorship? You need to clarify that with the brand out of the gate. Second of all, it's not about you, it's about what you can do for that brand, right? And we get, again, I reference RL because it's what I know we see a lot, when we get sponsorship requests, we'll post on social media. Oh. Is that MySpace? Is that LinkedIn? How often are you going to post on social media? What are you going to post on social media? When are you going to post it? So there are a lot of details that you can include out of the gate. You only get one first impression, and it's either going to go really bad or it's going to go really good. And the reason I wanted to start having these Facebook Lives outside of my consultation clients or the clinics is a high tide raises all ships. We need you girls as much as you need us. And I think it's only fair. We can't expect you as queens or committees, from a brand standpoint, I can't expect you to know what to say, to know what to do, to know how to compensate my brand for what we either donate or sponsor with you if nobody's telling you. So it's kind of rude to be like, hey, we're gonna have a test, but I'm not gonna tell you anything that's on it. So that's the goal of this. So when you approach a brand, this is what I'm going to do for you. If, a lot of organizations have the breakdown, like $0 to $100 is this, and $101 to $250 is this, and that's okay. Not everybody can always meet those parameters, so it's very important that you make sure that you underpromise and overdeliver. So sorry, underpromise and overdeliver. And the reason that's so important is, for example, if we do, say, a pair of teardrops, right? If we send that to you for your rain, and it's a sponsorship, right? And we have the agreement, and we ended up really, I hate that we even had to do this, but it just got to the point where it was out of control. So if we enter into a sponsorship agreement where we provide, a bank of earrings and so on, we actually take a credit card number that we have on file, so that if for some reason that girl doesn't hold up her end of the deal, she doesn't post like she's supposed to, she becomes a brand liability, then we have the ability to charge that card for the retail price of the earrings. Because if not, I'm taking money out of my team's pocket, and no, those girls work like rented mules. I'm not about to do that. I always say, you see a lot, we love the ladies that love us, and we do, we love them hard, but they have expectations. So this isn't a company that I just call up some factory in China and say, hey, I need, 13 clear teardrops. Every single one of these is made right here in the studio by ladies in my community. So when we enter into that partnership and you say, well, for $0 to $100, we'll post on social media and we'll put you in our program. Okay, you need to make that tasty for the brand, right? You need to present it. You can present the same information, but it's like going to a restaurant. If you order a hamburger and french fries and it comes out on a paper boat thrown together and the bun's half smashed, and you're like, okay, you're gonna eat your hamburger, but you're not gonna be thrilled about it. But if your hamburger comes out on a big plate and they've got the brand burning to the top of the presentation is key, whether you're eating dinner whether you're applying for a job, and that's essentially what you're doing when you want to represent a brand. You're saying, I need you to trust me with your product. And that's kind of scary as a brand owner because we don't have control over what you do or what you post. We just hope that it's going to go well. So when you approach a brand with sponsorship options, it's important that you phrase it in ways that look good to them, because again, it's not about you. I already know what my earrings are you're going to love them. I know that. It's not about that. So make sure when you say we're going to post about you on social media, what does that mean? Hey, for this tier of sponsorship, right? So for the $100 tier, let's say, we will make a brand specific post, which means the post is just going to be about Rhinestone lip gloss. It's not going to be grouped in with 5 other things. We will make a brand specific post once a quarter on all of our platforms, which include Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. Here are the handles. Let them know exactly what they can expect from you, and then go up from there. If you really want to knock it out of the park, I've had very few girls do this, but every time they've done it, they have received so much more, again, under promise, over deliver, from my brand and other brands that have worked with them, because they've paved the way before even hardly asking for something. So if we do the $100 sponsorship, and the deal is, okay, we'll post about Rhinestone lip gloss once a quarter on all 3 of our platforms. But what you actually do is, in addition to that, you make a couple cute reels, or you tag us in 3 or 4 other posts, kind of during that. Those brands see that. And what happens is they say, well, gosh, if we gave them $100 worth of gift cards and they went above and beyond, I wonder if we could find a way to give them like $200 worth of product, and they'll do even more. So you can really kind of set your track record, set your reputation, frankly, based on A, how much you care, but B, how hard you try. And hopefully your page for your title, or if you're a committee, same thing, your title, your organization is set up as a business, because if it is, you can go through and schedule all of that, right? So you can say, okay, Rhinestone lip gloss was a $100 sponsor, so we need to schedule 1 post a quarter. Boom, done. Wrangler gave us $5 billion, so we're gonna post about them once a week. You can go through and schedule all of that so that the basic agreement is covered. Nobody has to wonder, nobody has to remember, nobody has to, oh geez, did we do that? It's handled. And then what that does is it frees you up, and it frees your title holder up. I'm talking to you, committees. Frees your title holder up to get in the moment organic content that is icing on the cake. Okay, so if we already have the once a quarter posts scheduled for RL, and she goes to Dallas Market and is wearing our earrings and takes a selfie with Martha Josie, and you post that and you tag RL in it, you're already giving more than what's expected. So next year, when you go with your handout to Rhinestone lip gloss and say, hey, we'd like to do another sponsorship, and girls, your titles are going to change, but your personal brand isn't. And what I've learned over the past decade of doing this is we tend to remember the girl, not so much the title, unless it goes way bad, which, in case we remember both, and we act accordingly. Your name isn't going to change. So if 1 year you're Miss Rodeo Sandhills and next year you're Keystone State, I'm not going to necessarily be able to keep your titles straight, but I'm going to remember how you made me feel about my life's work. So if I have Sally Smith, who is Sandhills and does a great job as Miss Rodeo Sandhills, promoting my brand and tagging us and just really legitimately and organically loving what we do, because you can tell if it's not. And next year she goes and competes for Miss Keystone State, and I'm just making stuff up, Keystone State, I'm going to know, hey, wherever Sally Smith is going, we're going to, because this girl has gone above and beyond when it comes to bringing eyeballs to my brand, showing the versatility of the product. So yeah, these are super for rodeo queening. Our post today, I think it was today, might have been yesterday, one of our clients is an ice skater, and a pretty dang good one. So show the versatility of the product. Do you wear, say the petite diamonds? Do you wear them to church? Do they go well with a hoodie? do you have a unique talent? I have one client in Texas. If she's not professional, she's ought to be, but I think she's maybe too young. But she does archery. Like, send me a cool picture of you, and maybe you can't wear earrings in an archery contest, but if you have your bow out, take a cool picture. We love showing off you girls as much as you love showing off our brand. And the more you show off our brand and show the versatility of the product and get us different, new, fresh eyeballs, the more we're going to do for you. The sponsorship side of things is very much kind of a symbiotic relationship. So the more you do for us, the more we'll do for you. And that goes for any brand, because the whole point of this, of giving things away for free, is fishing new ponds, if you will, so that new people find out about our brand, purchase our earrings, tell their friends, and it's just this whole cycle of brand growth. Sponsorships, they're a relationship. So when you approach a brand, make sure you're leading with what you can do for the brand, not what you want from them, and make it a point to where they remember your name because you did so much more than initially agreed on. I have a couple notes that I wanted to make sure I talked about. And if you girls have any questions, please, like I said, I'm pretty sure I can see comments. We'll find out. I think I can see comments. So I'm happy to answer any questions. This will be up for 30 days and then Facebook makes it go away. But again, if it's something that you want to continue, I'm happy to do that. I'm going to talk to committee members specifically on this. You can't be mad at a queen for not doing what she didn't know she was supposed to do. And I know that sounds like, yes, of course, but a lot of my committee clients, I'll say to them, send me exactly what you send your fresh title holders in regards to social media and sponsorships. And so many of them don't have anything. So you get these queens, right? And pageants are a business, full disclosure, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you cannot be mad at a title holder for not doing something they didn't A, know they were supposed to do, B, know how to do it, and C, know when to do it. And all that takes is a spreadsheet. And if you're my client and that's the route we go, I will build that for you. So all they have to do is say, hey, okay, Wrangler gets posted, once a month, and RL gets posted once a quarter, and Justin Boots gets posted every week, or whatever that is. We'll build an interactive spreadsheet. And sometimes, and I understand this completely, sometimes the title holder just has to get the content, send it to the committee, and the committee will post it so that they can word things a certain way and all of that. The problem is either nobody's telling the title holders, hey, these are your expectations when it comes to sponsors, getting their content, things like that. And then the sponsors get mad and frustrated because here we are giving, money basically out of our pockets, whether it's a gift card or it's product, and we're not getting anything in return. And what we feel like is, we don't matter, you just wanted free stuff. And what really kind of adds insult to injury is the next year, about that same time, we're gonna get a message from you. And it's gonna say, hey, do you want to sponsor? Yes, Mr. Kelsey, I can see your comment, and that is why you were amazing. Thank you so much. That is why, when you reach back out a year later, and there's been no communication that whole year, and there hasn't really, you haven't held up your end of the deal, you certainly haven't gone above and beyond, it feels yucky. It feels like we were just used for free stuff, and okay, now I've got my earrings or my gift card and goodbye. That is the worst thing that can happen, because it is really, really hard to recover from that. And so a lot of times, especially if you guys have ever dealt with Josie, she is the ultimate gatekeeper, and that's her job. She's amazing at it. But what happens is it takes so long to come out from underneath that. So when she says, hey, you know what, thank you so much, but unfortunately it just wasn't a good fit last year, a lot of times we get the response, well, we had a change in a board member, or a change in committee, or our sponsorship director ate a bad grilled cheese and is in the hospital with botulism. I don't know. No, just yours. I don't know what that means, Deborah, but I hope it's good. So when that happens and we're met with, oh, well, we had a change in the board, what that feels like is an excuse, because you hear it year after year after year. So if that happens, because it absolutely does happen, let your sponsors know as soon as you can. Hey, Sarah, we love working with you. I just wanted to let you know we've had a shift in a sponsorship director or this committee or that, whatever that is. I just wanted to reach out and let you know when it happened, not when you're, asking for things again. Because again, a sponsorship is a relationship, and communication, whether it's a marriage or a business or anything like that, is absolutely huge. So if we know 4 months in to our year-long sponsorship that, hey, you know what, they had a shift, or somebody's expecting a baby and has needed to shift to focus on that, that is 1,000% fine. What's not fine is when it feels like you're just using that as an excuse. Thank you, Suzanne. And that's key. So communication is huge. Going back to the initial point, you can't be mad at a title holder for not doing what she didn't know she was supposed to do. Now, girls, title holders, the opposite is also true. So you need to have a conversation with your board and say, in writing or in a spreadsheet, Google Docs is a phenomenal thing. I need to know exactly what you expect from me when it comes to these sponsors or my appearances or every aspect of your title, right? Make sure that they know you're taking initiative, you're taking the first step and saying, hey, I want to do this right, I want to do this well. Let's work together and lay out exactly what's expected from everybody on the team. And I promise you it will change things in ways you didn't even know. It is such a simple fix. It is overlooked in so many of my clients, and it's super, super easy. Communication. You can't be mad at somebody for not doing something they didn't know that they were supposed to do. Who reaches out to the sponsors? Does your title holder reach out to the sponsor? Does a committee member reach out to a sponsor? Who does that? And when? And how? And we get a lot of the, well, how do I reach out to a sponsor? Truthfully, the best thing that we've had happen is normally an email will be sent initially, or you'll message the RL page and say, hey, so I'm looking forward. And Josie will say, okay, we'll send an email with all the pertinent information to this email. I'll get it to Sarah, I'll get it to accounting. And you need to keep in mind that a lot of brands need about a 30-day window for accounting to go through all of their requests and see who's a good fit, right? And since there's a limited amount of resources for these brands, it's even more important that you girls, like we talked earlier, make it about the brand, right? I already know what I can do for you. You're gonna love my earrings. What are you gonna do for me in exchange for me giving them to you? You get one first impression, and whoever makes the best impressions are the ones that get that small pile of, available, whether it's product, gift cards, whatever that is. So usually we get a message on Facebook, hey, interested in a sponsorship, cool. Send an email with all pertinent information. And if you've ever seen me present in public, the number one thing that girls do not include, and the number one reason that we do not partner with you, is because you don't include a mailing address. And I know that sounds like super obvious. I am telling you, 80% of the girls that message us looking for a sponsorship or donation do not include a mailing address. And in addition to giving free things, if you will, gift cards, product, whatever it is, what I'm also not gonna do is tie my team up chasing basic information. If I ask for your, zodiac sign, that's different. How am I supposed to send you something that you're asking for if I don't know where to send it, right? And so just little detail, you see this all the time with us, details matter. Detail, contact information, mailing address, do not make that brand work even harder for you, because we can't. It's not that we won't, it's that we can't. We don't have the manpower, we don't have the time to chase basic information. So when you determine who's reaching out to sponsors, that's key. How are you reaching out? You send that email. The girls will usually get back with you in some capacity. And I don't want to say if we decide to work with you, but even if we don't, this is a really great hack. Ready? call that brand and say, if they agreed to team up with you, super. But even if they didn't, take the initiative. Make me wish I would have, right? Make me wish I would have picked you. Call that brand up and say, hey, Rhinestone Lip Gloss, I know we have a plan to, work together. We've got our sponsorship for this year. How can my title, how can I, if I were a queen, which would be a huge liability, how can I best represent your brand? Okay. And another thing you'll hear me say in real life, if you see me present, you can't mail a car wash. And what I mean by that is, if you have Rhinestone Lip Gloss, okay, and you've got Joe's Car Wash, we ship all over the world. I've got work in 24 countries. We have a product that can reach anybody, okay? That's really cool. Joe's Car Wash can't, right? You have to go to the car wash. We can't send the car wash to if I'm in Ohio, I can't send a car wash to a client in Georgia. It doesn't work, right? So what you need to do is pick up the phone, like old time days, and call Rhinestone Lip Gloss and say, hey, Sarah, we've got this in place, or, I know it wasn't a good fit right now, but just checking for in the future, how can I best represent your brand? And what I would say, and what I do say is, if you want to put my name on a t-shirt or a banner in the arena, that's fantastic. Thank you so much. I have too many t-shirts and I have been in too many arenas, and I can't tell you a single name on a banner or a t-shirt. And I certainly can't remember it long enough to patronize their business unless I live in that area. So for Joe's Car Wash, that's perfect, right? Because he can't, social media is okay for him, but he doesn't rely on it like we do. That's our lifeblood, right? So he's gonna want his name on the banner. He's gonna want his name on the t-shirt. He's gonna want you girls coming and doing a car wash or some cupcake fundraiser, whatever that is. We have a mini pony in town that the girls will bring around for different events, and this pony's a jerk because that's what ponies are. But this dude's famous, and he's just a little jerk mini pony that they dress up, but people remember that, and it's great for the businesses that are here. Winans Coffee, which if you ever come to RL, you will go to because it is amazing, and their chocolate is fantastic. You can't mail a cup of coffee, right? So it's important to call that brand and say, hey, specifically, how can I, as a title holder, best bring eyeballs to your brand? So for Joe's Car Wash, you're gonna wanna go there. You're gonna want the name on the t-shirt, you're gonna want the name on the banner, you're gonna want that hands-on, in-person relationship. I will appreciate that so very much. It's not the best fit for me. I need social media, right? I need Reels, I need TikToks, I need that don't have profanity in them. Girls, I know it makes me sound like I'm 100 years old, but listen to the lyrics before you post, especially if you're including somebody else's brand. Like if your mom would be mad, don't. If my mom would be mad, let's rephrase that. I went to the Cindy Pyle School for Girls. If my mom would be mad, let's not post it. So call me up and say, hey, what hashtags do you want to use? Hey, do you have like Valentine's Day is this weekend? Yeah, this weekend. Do you have any specials that you're running? Do you have any specific cool new patterns or cool new earrings that you're doing for Valentine's Day or Christmas or the Congress or whatever that is? But pick up the phone and have a legitimate one-on-one conversation with that brand owner, because I'm here to tell you they'll be shocked that you took that initiative, and they will appreciate it more than you know. Not just that you took the time to do that, but it makes us feel heard, right? So we don't feel like just another name on the list that you shot an email out to because you needed free stuff. And it makes such a huge difference. Do I appreciate my name on a t-shirt and a banner? Yeah, cool, thanks. Would I much rather have even my intern is really good at this. I am not. When you do like the video podcast thing and it's like little clips and you're asking about the brand and how did it start or what's the coolest thing you've bedazzled or whatever that is, anything that you can do to bring quality, organic, new, fresh eyeballs to that brand, I'm here to tell you it's going to change everything. And like I said, your titles are going to change, but how you as a human made me as a brand owner feel That's the golden ticket, girls. That's going to carry you farther than you can even imagine. And what has really been cool is we've been around long enough that, yes, we start with you as a rodeo queen or the girls that show horses, things like that. And then after the crown, right, what happens is we end up doing a lot of your wedding earrings, which is so cool. And now, and I hate this math because it makes me feel 100, I'm doing earrings for your daughters, right? And the reason that we still carry on those relationships and we'll still, maybe ship it for free or mess with the customization fee or go out of our way is because you did that for us initially. I promise you the brands will remember. And it's so easy, girls. You're already on social media all of the time. Back in the day, we had to go to the computer room and go onto the internet, right? Well, now we never leave the internet. And I had a client a couple weeks ago in California. And part of the reason I love doing this is I get to meet just such cool ladies. So we were talking, and title holder shift is coming up, and a new coronation is coming up. And I said, hey, what are your current requirements for your current queen? And there really weren't any. And I said, okay, what do you think would happen if you said, hey, okay, Karen, I'm gonna need you to start making 3 Facebook and 3 social media posts a week, I think is what I told her. And it was a video, and she looked at me and she was like, I don't think she could. I don't think she has time. You're telling me that this girl got this massive prize package from all of these brands. There are currently no hard, fast expectations in place, no schedule, no accountability to make sure those brands are not only just taken care of, but just blown out of the water, so that when this new queen comes, they still want to play in your sandbox. And you're going to tell me that this girl does not have time for 3 social media posts. She's like, I don't think she does. And I said, okay, let's just do basic math here. If we say 3 posts a week for 52 weeks, what is that, 156 posts? If you came up to a stranger on the street and said, hey, if you make 156 social media posts about these brands, I will give you a trailer, a saddle, the whole, whatever the prize package is. How long do you think it would take that person? Some of those people would have that done by the end of the day. How long do you think it'd take that person to make those 156 Facebook posts, Instagram posts, TikTok posts that we're all already on all the time, in order to receive, if you kind of group that prize package as, hey, if you do this, I'll do this. It's the perspective of it. Does 3 social media posts a week sound like a lot? Maybe, but the time it takes to do it, it is incredibly, it's almost like that big task that you want to put off because it feels and sounds overwhelming, and then you get it done in 17 seconds and you're like, oh, well, that wasn't so bad. So think about it that way. When you're not sure what these girls are capable of, if you kind of break it down and zoom out, I promise you it's more than what you think. But it's also important that those girls know that, and this is what I loved about this client. She was like, we didn't start off that way, so I don't think it's fair to say to this girl 3/4 of the way through a reign, okay, well, now we're gonna switch it up. And I agreed 100%. I think that is absolutely fair. So this particular consultation was about putting a plan in place so that when the girls apply for the pageant, they can read in the, I guess the paperwork that you get. I've never been in a pageant, which is probably a good thing. So they can read in the application, hey, these are your requirements. And then they can decide, right? Because accountability is huge. It's not just about you as a title holder. You're carrying your committee with you, their reputation, your stock contractors, your sponsor, all of these things. There's so many chefs in the soup that you're responsible for as the face, as the title holder. It's only fair that you know what you're getting into before you get into it. And that's on the committee side, and that's what I can help with. The other side of that is if you say, yes, I can do this by entering this pageant, you're telling them I am capable and willing of doing all of these things So when you don't do that, right, and you've compromised sponsor relations, reputations, all of these things, it's all about accountability, girls. But again, we can't be mad at a committee for not saying, well, you didn't tell me I was going to have to make all these social media posts. And we can't be mad at a title holder because, Karen, you didn't get pictures from the dog adoption thing you went to. Can't do that, guys. You've got to, both sides have to have a discussion. We have to know exactly what's expected. And the same thing goes when you approach these brands. You call Rhinestone Lip Gloss and say, hey, I want, $200 worth of earrings. That's no problem, as long as, number one, there's accountability, right? So if you don't you say we agree on one brand specific post per month per platform, and you miss one, I have terrible news for you, because that card's getting charged for the retail value of those earrings. You gave me your word. I gave you free product. So as long as you keep your word, we're fantastic, right? But if you don't, now we've got some problems. And the same thing for me. If I say, I'll send you X number of earrings, and then I don't, well, then you have every right to just drag me through the mud. That won't happen. Communication is key from everybody involved, whether it's sponsors, committee members, title holders, all of that. Check these comments. Okay. I'm just reading my notes and make sure that like I said, this is the first one that I've done. It's quite different than being in a room full of girls that are asking questions and so on. So I wanted to make a couple of just basic, really fair points that I think apply to any of these girls and a lot of the committees as well. I built this entire brand, this entire building, studio, 5 Airbnbs, this furniture, all of this was done with no advertising budget because there isn't one. I'm not going to raise the prices of our earrings to cover an expense that I can acquire organically. It's not fair. It's rude, first of all, and it's not fair to you girls because, let's be honest, rodeo queening is a super expensive endeavor. But it's also such a gift. The connections that you girls make, even with brands. I mean, how many girls have we watched go on, work for the Cowboy Channel, work for Montana Silversmith, model for Double D? I mean, it's all because they brought value to that brand. The brand felt it. It was clearly evident, and they wanted to continue that, right? And we've got girls, like I said, that started our Kelso shaped earring, which I don't have in. Haley Kelso, 2015 Miss Teen Rodeo, Idaho. I'm now doing daughter earrings for her daughter, Boston. And it's such a cool gift to me that this brand that she took a chance on when we were like nobody, and not that we're like huge now, but this girl and her mom, Stacy, took a chance on some girl from Ohio, right, making things shiny, trusted me then, is trusting me to build earrings for her daughter, who is also endeavoring in the rodeo queening. But those connections, and so it's amazing what comes of this. I've never been a queen. I've said that 500 times. It's, of course, Heather, it's key that you understand, again, it's like I said at the beginning, it's not fair for us to be frustrated, whether as a brand owner, to be frustrated with the title holders or the committees for not doing what we didn't tell you we needed. That's so dumb. That's so dumb. But what I've learned is that by having these conversations, by presenting at these clinics, going all over the country, having, the private consultations with my customers, whether they're title holders or moms, they're committee members, because girls chase prize packages, right? Well, how do you build a good prize package and make sure that those sponsors continue to invest in your organization year after year after year? You communicate with them. You say to them, hey, Joe's Car Wash, what can we do? Can we bring the pony to the car wash? Can we have a car wash like Rodeo Queens, rinse off your whatever that is? Give those brands an opportunity to give you the secret. of what they need from you so that you can give it to them. They can grow as a business and afford to continue to support your organization. It's all communication. That's truly all of it is. If anybody has any questions, now's your time. Facebook will leave this up for 30 days. If I push the button correctly, because my darling social media girl Olivia isn't here, so I'm winging this myself. If I push the button correctly, this will end up on our YouTube channel. And again, this is something that I want to continue to do, but I also, oh, thanks, Daddy. It's also very important to me that I bring you the answers that you're looking for. So I was talking to the ladies in waiting at MRA this year, and I've never seen this done, and it was brilliant. And I actually have to present at a clinic in Pennsylvania at the end of February, and I messaged the director for that, and I said, hey, this is brilliant. It's helpful to me. It's really helpful to the girls. Before I get there, or before I present, let's do that. MRA had the girls write questions, and I have no idea who asked what question. I had, I think, 5 or 6 in my hand, which is perfect because I only had about half an hour. And Gina Linton had the girls write down specific questions for me, sponsorship questions, brand questions, things like that. And it was the biggest gift to everybody in the room, because I knew what to specifically talk about. Obviously, I'm going to talk about the things that they don't know, right? Because that's key. But if I can answer, if I can bring value to them, right? Because it's a partnership, right? It's a sponsorship, it's a relationship. If I can bring value to them, they're going to understand how it works in a reciprocated fashion, right? So if you have an event, and same thing with this, this will stay up for 30 days. You can private message me. I'm happy to answer. I should be able to keep an eye on these comments until Facebook takes it down. But I need to know what you want to know, and I'm happy to answer that. If you want to, do a 1 hour kind of pick your brain thing with me, we can do that. If you want to do a multiple session of, let's get a game plan together, let's implement some things, let's look to see what's working, look to see what's not working, do a final tweak, right off into the sunset, those are my favorite because they're so tailored, they're so specific. We really get into the nitty gritty. We build that spreadsheet. Hey, so-and-so is responsible for this on this day, whatever that is. And it's such a gift to everybody involved. And the better our queens are, I don't want to have to get a real job, guys. And rodeo queening is expensive. It's hard, right? You girls work so hard. It's tough. I'm reading, so sorry. Hindi, this is great. So, and Hindi's a designer. My question is how to get my brand out there better. I've given out more than 50 gift certificates to various contests and state fundraisers in the past 5 years with less than 5% of them redeemed. Any suggestions on what I can do to improve that return rate? Hindi, I don't know what your gift cards are, if they're a specific amount. Wow, you guys really came through with questions. Just kidding. Okay, so Hindi, and if you want to message me, I can give you kind of a better. How much are your gift cards? Like, are they for a certain amount, or is it a percentage, or is it an item? The other thing that's really handy is you can literally make a Facebook post and say what kind of gift cards would be most helpful, right? Do you want a gift card for free crystallization? Do you want a gift card for a discount on embroidery? Do you want just a flat, here's $200 off? The communication thing is huge. So Hindi, and I'm pretty sure I'll see you in Utah in a couple weeks. But I would ask the girls, frankly, what type of gift card do you want? What do you want from me, right? And again, we do usually $25 gift cards is kind of our donation thing, or sponsor. Well, I shouldn't say sponsor. Kind of a more of a donation type thing. Or if you have a big group, right, like a clinic, that's what we'll do. If you want that accountability from those girls, the sponsorship thing, you're clear, hey, this is, I'll give you X number of dollars of earrings and you can customize them. They can be whatever you want. but in return, I'm going to have a card on file just in case the ball gets dropped. But it's important that I know what you want. So Hindi, I would ask your girls, truly, just make a Facebook post and say, you know, what do you want from me? Much like we say, okay, if I give you, you know, this gift card for, you know, a free horsemanship top, then I need one brand specific post, 12 consecutive months on all of your social media platforms. So just having that conversation is huge. And if you're, I think I'll see you in Utah. We can talk about that too. Carrie, so what are we talking about with the music to reels? I'd love to see a sponsor telling queens what they do and do not want. So, Carrie, this is fantastic. I'd love to see a sponsor. Yes, Cindy, we will talk. Kathy, this is fantastic. I would love to see a sponsor telling queens what they do and do not want to see on the pages. This is huge. And it kind of goes back to the you can't mail the car wash. I can't be mad at these girls for posting reels with not good lyrics or terrible quality, or, you know, they've got my earrings on and there's 14 beer cans in the background, right? That's probably shouldn't do that. I can't be mad at them for doing that if I didn't tell them these are my brand requirements. I don't want any obscene language. I don't want any alcohol in the back. I don't want any smoking in the back. Things that's really huge. And the girls, and if you don't, again, not everybody's going to watch this. So if you have a girl that does come on approaching you for a sponsorship and you feel like, hey, this girl's got potential, the phone works both ways. You can message them and say, hey, I see a lot of potential here with you. Can we schedule a call, phone call, Zoom call, whatever? Can we schedule a call and talk about specifically what I need from you, and so that I can answer any questions that you have for the brand, right? Those girls aren't going to know what hashtags I prefer. They're not going to know that we do what the winners wear. And for the record, sometimes winning is just getting out of bed. Okay, so don't make this about a title. One of our other hashtags is details matter, because they do. They're not going to know that. I can't just presume that a queen, especially a new one trying to get sponsors because it's an expensive hobby, is going to know that. So just have that conversation, Carrie. Because it's key for both, right? And again, please feel free to message me and I can elaborate on that. What about sponsor who doesn't have, okay, Suzanne, what about a sponsor who doesn't have social media, like Facebook, for example? Do they have any social media, Suzanne, or just not Facebook? And what type of sponsor, if you can tell me, like, is it a bakery? Is it an oil change place? Is it a church? You'd be amazed at the type of things people sponsor. It's fantastic. No what? Sorry. No social media at all? It's a trailer sponsor. Is it the manufacturer of the trailer, or is it the dealership you bought the trailer from? Is it like somebody providing the trailer? Like, is this a situation where like you bought a trailer to sponsor for your organization, but you don't have personal social media? Is that? They only have a website, they're a roofing business. Well, then I would send those girls onto the roof of one of the houses they're working on. Maybe not really, because, you know, safety. But have the girls go to the roofing office. Certainly they have to have an office, right? Like there's a huge roofing place down here, Frost. So have the girls stand out in front of it and do a cute photo, like pointing at the sign. And then when you post it on your social media, on the title holder social media, put their website on there. Do you need a new roof? Visit icangiveyounewroof.com or whoever that is, right? Do little videos. Guys hate this, but they're usually pretty good sports with young ladies who are trying to, you know, do the things in life. Do the mini mic interview. Hey, JJ Smithy, it's the guy that owns the local roofing camp. Hey, JJ, what on earth made you want to climb on roofs for a living? Or Tell me about a time that you maybe repaired somebody's roof, but it was more than that, right? Like maybe it was a veteran that just was really in a bad spot and he came in and saved the day, didn't have to. But give them an opportunity to tell the public what they want to say, right? Like what's important to their brand, just like we had the talk, like we can't nail the car wash. Give that guy an opportunity, and don't just show up with mini mics, like, because they'll freak out. But plan, say, hey, I want to bring the title holders by. I want to get a game plan so that we don't take up a ton of your time, but we're able to get content, gather the information that you want to share with the public, right? Because you can't mail a roof, so that we can send people to your website. Maybe it's a phone number, right? Maybe they don't have a website even, and they just have a phone number. Then do content, show the public their office or their work or their owner. And instead of tagging a Facebook page, you type their website in. Does that? Hopefully that helps. They paid for a sponsor portion of the trailer, so you can put their logo on the trailer, but then take a picture of the logo on the trailer, put it on your social media with their website or however they want to contact, however they want to be contacted. Georgia, what would you say for sponsors who do not want to tell you what they want? I would tell them to go pound sand. That's not. Sorry. I've had to drag information out of people before, and I would love to know how to handle that. So, Georgia, with that, so that's a very fair question. It's an interesting question because it's like, why would you not want to give the girls trying to promote you as much ammunition to do that well and effectively? So I've never had that question. My response to that question is, if you're running into that, or you're going to run into that, make a little questionnaire and have them fill it out. Just basic information, right? What's your kind of main tagline, right? Like, I don't make earrings. I make earlobes that don't hurt, right? I make accessories that are perfectly matched to your garment. I make pieces that will always fit. And even if you're like in a tragic earlobe accident, we can make them a clip-on, so you're good there, right? Ask them. Sometimes you just really have to spoon feed what you need from them, because a lot of business owners are focused on running their business, right? Like, they don't even know I don't even know what you need to promote me as a sponsor. Here's a check, just go. But if you say, hey, Carl, here's 5 quick questions. You can use chat for this, right? Here's 5 quick questions. This is this is the information that we need to do our best to bring new eyeballs, new customers, dollars back to your business in exchange for whatever you've gifted us. I hope that is helpful. Again, girls, you can always message me. I would make them a form, whether it's a Google Doc or just something that you can email them, where them or their assistant could, just type in their responses and fire it right back to you. But again, they can't be mad at you for not promoting them if they didn't give you the information that you need. The caveat to that is you have to be able to say, I asked you, right? Because if you just didn't take that initiative, well, now you're both at fault, right? So if you can say, hey, we sent this form out, in an attempt to make sure that we did our best, we got the information that we needed, right? Even just basic information, to, like the roofing thing, like, do you want us to send to your website because you don't have social media? If you didn't give me what I asked for, but I asked for it, you can just go be mad, right? Because I handled my side of things. And honestly, if they just want to hand you a check and they don't really want to give you what you need, I would make an effort to post about them anyways, just because it's an act of good faith, right? But again, they can't get mad if you're like, well, you didn't use our hashtag. Well, you didn't tell me what it was, Carl. So, but you have to ask. You have to take that initiative. So, Georgia, I hope that was helpful. Do I have a standard contract that I can share? No, only because they're all so different. What girls ask Wrangler for is not the same as what they're going to ask the local oil change place for. But something that you could, Yuki, I get what your question is, and it's a fantastic one, but it's really, it's not a one size fits all thing, but we can talk about kind of this is also fantastic. If you guys want to do this again, like maybe next month, please let me know. And then I can take these questions and make sure that I talk about them right in the next one. And again, if you miss this live, it'll be up for 30 days. And provided I push the photo or the button, because Olivia's not here, this will be on our YouTube channel as well that you can watch or share, whatever. Because again, yes, I do this for a living. Yes, I consult for a living. I build these things, but I'm watching my industry decline. I'm watching the queen numbers get smaller and smaller and smaller. And if somebody doesn't come in here and, you know, in a former life, I was an interpreter for Mandarin Chinese. My job was to make sure that this side of the table understood what this side of the table was talking about, and we all went the same way together. And this is no different. It's just a lot shinier and kind of more fun. So this is all super, super helpful, especially for me as well. But Yuki, that's a great question. You really kind of got to look at, you know, are you dealing with a national title holder, or are you dealing with a festival or a fair queen, right? They're not going to be capable of giving you the same thing. But if you want, shoot me a message and we can talk about that. Heather Drury. What is the best way for girls who may not have the title yet, but are also young and don't have their social media? Would their parents' page be okay to use? So I love that you brought this up, Heather. The internet's a terrifying place, especially when you have young ladies, because there's just some weirdos out here. The best situation to this, if they don't have a title, and again, the titles are going to change, right? So until they're kind of grown enough to have their own established social media, you could literally call it Sarah's Rodeo Queen Journey page or something kind of generic, and then use that to reach out to brands. Now, the other thing I will tell you is if it's beyond your capacity to do that, and you have a daughter who is wanting to reach out to sponsors, and she's old enough to do it like on her own, but not old enough to have social media. If they use your page, Heather, all they have to do is say, "Hi, my name is Sarah. My mom is Heather, and I'm competing for whatever." So if you just explain, again, communication is huge. If you just explain, "Hey, I'm a young lady, and internet's terrifying. I'm using my mom's page to reach out, but I'm doing it," because this astounds me. I've had moms of girls in college. Moms of girls in college reach out for sponsorships for their daughter. If she can't handle reaching out to the brand in person, she's not going to be able to handle what we need from her in exchange for a sponsorship. At that age, I'm sorry. Now, littles, all day long, right? Safety's key. The internet's terrifying. I don't have children. Found a toddler in a hotel a couple weeks ago in San Antonio, if you saw that story. But I can imagine the fear and wanting to protect your daughter, which I am 1,000% here for. If you can make a generic Rodeo Queen Journey page, awesome. If not, "Hey, Sarah Kelsey, my name is Sally. My mom is Heather, and I'm reaching out to you to talk about, you know, working together during my Rodeo Queen journey." So there are definitely some options, but you certainly want to be safe because it's scary and people are weird. So it has been a whole hour. Wow. I love this. I love this. Well, you can't see. There's earrings everywhere. I have the coolest job in the world, and I want to keep the coolest job in the world. But I can only do that if there's a place to have, you don't know what you don't know, right? And it's helpful when people ask questions, because certainly 5 other of you girls are going to want to know the answer to that, or, "Oh, I didn't think to ask that." That's why I feel like, you know, Mr. Kelsey and I and my team, my unicorns who are just incredible, when I kind of pitched this to them, the first thing they were like, you really want to take something else on? I'm like, yes, I do. And they're not wrong. But after chewing on it, everybody came to the conclusion that there's not a spot for discussion like this. And I know when I opened this video, when I started, I said that a lot of the girls are under the impression that the brands hold all the cards, right? Like that we're the puppeteers and we're gonna say, you know, oh, no, we're not giving you anything, or yes, well, that's not it. That's not it. We hold a very limited amount of resources, whether that's gift cards, whether that's product, whether that's cash for monetary sponsorships, which are by far the hardest to get. What's key about that, right? We might hold that reserve, but it's up to you girls to show us, you know, we can't invest in all of them. It's impossible. But it's up to the girls to show these brands, hey, I'm the best fit for you. This is why you need to invest in me as opposed to the fried potato rodeo festival queen, right? But if we don't teach these girls, it's like expecting a kid in high school to go to a job interview and they've never played job interview at home with their parents and their dad made them shake hands 47 times so they did it right. You can't expect these girls to know what to do, what to say, how to do it, if nobody's having these conversations, right? So that's the main reason that I wanted to start doing these, because I am desperately dependent on these ladies for the social media, for the eyeballs. You know, you can see these earrings online and you can see them in videos or on the website, and they're cool, they're pretty. But when you hold them and you see how light they are, or when you hold them and you're like, oh wow, those are really shiny, or that's literally a perfect match, that's what it takes, right? But if I don't tell these girls how to share my brand, or things like don't use songs that have bad words in them, I can't hold them responsible for things they didn't know they were responsible for. So check these last comments. Okay, so thank you girls so much for jumping on here with me, and shoot me a message if we want to do this again next month. And if you have questions that you think of, send them to me. Send me a message, Facebook message on the Rhinestone Lip Gloss page. That way my team can get a hold of them, I can get a hold of them. My personal messenger, that's where things go to die. So message the Rhinestone Lip Gloss page with your questions, and we can do another one of these next month, and that way it's not super late here on the East Coast. I say that because it's 8 o'clock and my bedtime is, you know, about then. But I can address questions from any time zone, regardless of where I'm at, because I might be in Utah. I think I will be in Utah next month, in Texas. But then you can go back and watch this in your own spare time, but it still brings value because I'm answering the questions you girls legitimately have. And then I will also continue to share kind of topics from my slide deck when I present at clinics. And then again, if you want to work with me one-on-one and get a game plan either for yourself or your daughter who's a title holder or your committee, I'm happy to share references. But that's really what I love to do. It expedites everything for the industry. It makes it easier on my committee members. It makes it easier on my title holders. And it makes it easier for brands because, again, me, Yuki, Hindi, so many of these women as owners, brand owners, are desperately reliant on these girls, but they have to know what we need and we have to be able to tell them. So thank you all so much. Oh, yay, we'll do it again. Cool. Okay, send me your questions and we will make this a thing. And thank you so much for joining in on the first one. I hope it wasn't super awkward, but I had a blast, and thank you for allowing me to have the coolest job on the planet. So thanks, girls.